With us now is U.S. Ambassador formerly for the NATO, and that would be Kurt Volker. He was a special envoy to Ukraine as well. So, Kurt, a lot of drama. And, I guess a lot of people, and as Harriet Hageman said, when people in her district, they don't care. They don't want money going to Wyoming. They're more concerned about the border. Specifically, that was not part of, which is what the rub is here, that was not part of this big ugly bill, if you will, where everything gets thrown in, up or down for everybody, a lot not to like, and some to like. That was her response. What do you say to her and those who are saying, you know what, why do we care about Ukraine?
Yeah, well, first off, people in Wyoming and across the country should care about Ukraine. Because it is at the fulcrum right now of what is a brewing global conflict. You have Russia attacking Ukraine, you have Iran attacking Israel, you have China threatening Taiwan, you have North Korea saber rattling, you have Venezuela destabilizing Latin America. We face some serious problems, and Ukraine is at the center of this. If Ukraine defeats Russia, we are reestablishing some sense of deterrence in Europe and in the world. And if we don't, we're going to see these problems in the world escalate, and it's going to cost us a lot more to deal with them later than by sending aid to Ukrainians and letting them do the fighting now. So we should really care about this. Now, on the border, she's absolutely right. It is a crisis on the border, and we do have to deal with it. The House has already passed legislation demanding that the administration shut down the border and do a much better job than they are now. And frankly, that has not been approved in the Senate or by the White House, but the House has done its job there. What we need, however, is to pass these assistance packages now as well, because that is critical to American security.
So these two bills, the House bill and the Senate bill, as people know, have to be perfectly aligned in order for them to pass and go to the president. They're not right now. They're similar, but the Senate would have to, if the House passes it, make corrections or align perfectly and then vote, which is expected Tuesday if it passes the House. Let's talk specifically about the money for Ukraine right now. So about $61 billion is earmarked towards Ukraine. And but that isn't directly going to Ukraine. It's replenishing weapons, also for the U.S. military. About $14 billion is for Ukraine. Some of it, and again, this is the rub by some of the Republicans, are in the form of forgivable loans. And the president, at this point, Biden, maybe Trump in the future, whomever, would have the power to forgive those loans. So what do you make of that? Because most people think, okay, we're just sending boatloads of money to Ukraine and nobody knows where it goes.
Right. Well, first off, as you said, we're not sending boatloads of money to Ukraine. We're spending boatloads of money in the United States. And we are giving Ukraine older weapon systems and buying new ones for ourselves. And we are revving up U.S. defense industry in the process. So this is a very good deal for the United States to upgrade our systems, to upgrade our defense industry, and meanwhile have Ukraine wear down one of the most important adversaries that faces the United States in the world. So this is a very good deal for the U.S., and we're not sending the money to Ukraine. As far as loans go, I'm all in favor of loans as well. This is what the United States did to save Great Britain in World War II. We provided Lend-Lease for the UK, and they used that money to buy weapons and helped our defense industry get ramped up for World War II as well. I have no problem with doing the same thing for Ukraine in addition to this aid.
Okay, so another part of this bill, again, these are not separate. Someone might try to make a motion to sever, but that won't happen. So it's going to have to be all lumped into one bill, which, again, is not what they want to do up or down, because they can get criticized for doing one and not the other. But for Israel, again, it would be to help Israel with its missile defense system. The part that the Republicans don't like is the $9 billion for Gaza and specifically humanitarian assistance, again, because they feel, some of them, that this money is kind of just going into the hands of Hamas, helping them, and not directly going to the people who are starving and who need water and other assistance.
Right. So I actually think this is a more valid concern than concerns about money being lost in Ukraine. But even so, you've seen the pictures of the plight of civilians in Gaza and the tens of thousands killed there, or over 10,000 killed. This is a a significant humanitarian crisis. So it's very important that we support Israel, very important that we help them to root out Hamas, but we shouldn't be indifferent to the plight of civilians. And so some aid to them, I think, is warranted.
What about the Indo-Pacific? That's another piece of this bill, money specifically to help Taiwan and counter any aggression by China.
Right. So look what happened here. Deterrence failed against Russia. We showed weakness, and Putin decided he could attack Ukraine with impunity. Deterrence failed in Israel. We showed weakness toward Iran. Iran thought it could get away with attacking Israel. We need deterrence to work in Asia. We don't want to see a situation where China feels emboldened because we did not do anything, or because we were weak in Ukraine or weak in Israel, and they decide that now's the time to attack. So it's very important to shore up that flank.
All right, Kurt Volker, we appreciate you. You might be on standby because there's a lot going on. So thanks for spending at least part of our day with us here on Saturday Agenda.